Good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing today? So today is November 10th, 2020, and it's the Xp3 Dealers Training and Support Session. I thought I would cover today some of the basic fundamentals on positioning the Xp3 product line. And the first thing that we train our dealers to do is to explain to your customers the difference between an industrial strength commercial grade product and a retail consumer grade product. And sometimes the best way to do that is to show them with live tests or pictures of tests so that they can understand and wrap their heads around that there is a difference between a pro grade product and a consumer grade product. And the first thing that we talk about is carbon detergency. Now, every additive on the market should have the ability to break down carbon, soot, and deposits to be able to keep that engine at original equipment manufacturer specifications. If you have carbon buildup on any part of the engine in the combustion chamber, it will change the air to fuel mix ratio and then affect performance of that engine. Same thing applies with carburetors, fuel injectors, common rail high pressure injectors on diesel engines. So what you're seeing on the screen right now is the top view of a pop can. On the bottom of a pop can, there's carbon-based ink. And if an additive has detergent capability, it will be able to break down that carbon-based ink. So it's a visual way to show your customer how a given additive has the ability to break down carbon, soot, and deposits. Now, obviously, the Xp3 product line has a very good detergent value, and I would estimate that maybe 50% of the consumer grade products have detergent capability. And again, you would expect that from any additive, the ability to keep the internal components of your engine clean. Let me just bring you up to the next picture here. Sorry, I'm just, give me 1 second here, just a little minor technical glitch on my second screen. All right. Screen share, Chrome tab, this one. Okay. The second thing is carbon efficiency. If an additive has a good burn efficiency, you will be able to see it in a lighter colored flame, as well as emitting no particulate matter or no black smoke. The bottom of that pop can, you need a torch to light the additive on fire. And as you light it on fire, you will see it burn. And the lighter the color, the more efficient the burn is. The darker the color, the more inefficient the burn is. Now, on some retail grade additives, the reason why the color is darker and there's black smoke or sometimes even particulate matter that is emitted from burning the additive itself is the filler that is used in some of the retail grade additives is essentially low grade petroleum product. When a refinery takes light crude oil and processes it to bring it to the marketplace, about 20 to 30% of the light crude is converted to gasoline, and about 30 to 50% is converted to diesel. The stuff in the middle that cannot be sold to the marketplace as gasoline or diesel usually finds its way in consumer retail grade additives. Now, it will still kind of burn, but again, it's filler to give the appearance of that bottle being larger. And the retail consumer has always been trained that the larger the bottle, the lower the price, it feels like a better deal. So you'll find a lot of retail grade additives with filler in it. The next test after that is combustion residue. So what is left behind after an additive is burnt down? Now on a diesel product, what you want, combustion residue here, I'm just going to share this on the screen. What you want on a diesel additive is the right kind of lubricator in the right quantity. And that should display itself as a clean, golden, yellow, oily substance, not a black, sticky, tacky, or smoky substance. And as you burn down the additives on the bottom of the pop cans, you'll be able to see the residue left behind after it's burnt down. This is a very powerful test. If you have a customer using any of the retail grade additives out there and you do this test with them, especially if they have any emission controlled equipment, tier 1 to tier 4, they will be absolutely blown away on what the additive that they're using is actually doing in prematurely doing regen cycles and prematurely clogging up their fuel, their diesel particulate filter, which is also tied to the diesel exhaust fluid consumption. So combustion residue, that is a very good test to do for showing your customers the difference between retail and consumer grade products. Now, the next test is the ability for an additive to stabilize fuel. To be able to stabilize fuel, both gasoline and diesel, it comes down to now the test tubes that you see there require safety equipment. You basically put diesel fuel in a glass test tube, put 2 drops of hydrochloric acid, which simulates the breaking down and gumming of fuels. As fuel ages, it'll break down, it'll gum up. And if the additive has a high stabilizing factor, it'll be able to regenerate or reverse the phase separation and the gumming of the fuel. So in that screen here, if you go into the QR code, you'll be able to see the actual test. Xp3 has the ability to break down gumming, varnishes, and restore fuel that has been fouled. So that is important. If you have equipment sitting in your yard, or your customer has equipment sitting in their yard, not being used for 1, 2, 3, 4, sometimes 6, 7, 8, 9 months, this is a very important aspect of having that machine and the diesel in that machine sit at an extended period of time. And the last part, or the last visual test that you can do for a client to show them the difference between a retail consumer grade product and an industrial strength commercial grade product, is the ability for the additive to break down water and moisture. Now, water is the enemy of combustion. Water in metal in tanks will create oxidation and rusting and will lead to several other problems. But probably the most critical issue is water and diesel. Between the layer of water and diesel, you'll have microbacterial infestation. Microbes or algae, people call it sludge or black sludge. It's live organisms that take root in the fuel and feed on the oxygen in the water. Now, if you have a client that has that condition, XP Lab, the manufacturer of XP3, has a biocide eradicator product designed to attack and eliminate those issues. But the continued use of XP3 in your diesel fuel will eliminate the conditions for these microbacterial infestations to take root. And when you're talking about gasoline, especially in the power sports or motorsports scene, you want the ability for the gasoline to take care of any water and moisture problems when it's cold or freezing. In the past, you've probably heard people using alcohol to do that, but if you ask any informed mechanic, using alcohol in fuel is no longer something that is done or no longer something that is recommended, because when the alcohol goes into the fuel, it might have a temporary function, but because alcohol is volatile, it'll evaporate, and any of the value that you've had, the water will drop back down out of suspension into the bottom of your tank. Now, that being said, Xp3 does not have any alcohol in it and does an excellent job in breaking down the water molecules down to 5 micron or less to be able to have it dispersed in the fuel and not have any water-related issues. My last comment about water is in the diesel fuel today. Let me just remove that. In the diesel fuel today, you have a certain percentage of bio content, and in gasoline, you have a certain percentage of ethanol. Those compounds are agroscopic, which means that coming out of the fuel pump, they might be at spec, but over time, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month or two, the bio content in that fuel will absorb moisture out of the air and increase the parts per million in that fuel. What that means is spec fuel and diesel is allowed to have up to 400 parts per million of water or moisture in the fuel. And if that exceeds 400 parts per million, you're getting yourself into a situation where you can cause mechanical failure or poor operability of your engine. So very important to take care of water and moisture issues in both gasoline and diesel. So that's my quick 10-minute training session. Every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Central, we will live broadcast. If you have any topics that you specifically want covered, please email it to dealers@xp3.ca. Have yourself a great week. We'll see you next week.